Councillor Donovan.
No.
Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
Councillor Henstock. Oh, conflicted, okay. And not here. Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Councillor Goff.
Yes.
Councillor Johansson.
No.
Councillor Kean.
Yes.
Councillor MacDonald.
Yes.
Councillor Barber.
Yes.
Councillor McCallum. Conflicted. Councillor Scandrett.
Aye.
And the Mayor is not here. And Councillor Templeton. So, by my reckoning, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in favour and 1, 2, 3, 4 against.
Thank you, David. That motion is carried. Now, what I want to do is briefly bring up Mark, because I've been remiss this morning in terms of Te Kaha. I thought David Kennedy was coming in as well, so poor Mark has sat there all morning waiting for us. So I'd like to move on to Te Kaha first, and then we'll come back to VO. So we're in your hands, Mark. And just like I always say with this one, noting this is in relation to the construction of the facility, it's not in relation to any of the other issues.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, so firstly, just apologies from David Kennedy. He's overseas on holiday at the moment, so you'll just have to make do with me. I think most of you know me. I'm Mark Noonan. I'm Project Director on Te Kaha. So, as they say, a picture shows 1,000 words. So we've got a short drone flyover. This was taken on the 4th of October. So if we could just start that. It's a wee bit shaky at the start. New drone operator. And what we're currently looking at is the south stand. You can see the floors there, the precast concrete floors with the topping slabs. And the white is all the structural steel going in. So this is on the Chewham Street sort of end of the building. We're looking towards the east stand. Once again, all the concrete walls are completed and the structural steel, the white structural steel going up there. In the middle there's floor panels waiting to go in, and then we're looking at the large west stand on Madras Street. You can see the floors are well progressing there at level 1, and there's all the structural steel going in there, so making really good progress on site. Thank you for that.
That really puts it in perspective if you see
it does put it in perspective.
The people on there.
When you see people walking around, it just gives you an idea of the size of the building.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so since that date, so that's about 3 weeks ago, they're progressing now. There's probably 2/3 of the floor in on the south stand there. The east stand progressing more steelwork. And on the west stand, once again, they're probably 2/3 of the way through pouring the concrete floors on the west stand and just progressing more of the steelwork. You can see just in the foreground the first of the seating bowl going in on the southern end there. So it is a really interesting project to be involved in. I think it's getting a lot of interest from people now. They can see it coming up above the hoardings. So I won't go through all my text there because I'm aware you're short of time there. I guess the things you're really interested in, it's on budget and it's on program, and we're very happy with the quality we're getting on site. So there's nothing really we need to tell you about that. It's the contractor B6 Watback are really good to work with, and we're very happy with them. The report lists the actual work that's actually happening on site. I guess it's what it doesn't mention there. The detailed design's almost completed, so they are progressively working through from the developed design through to detailed design. They've put in their second to last consent, so the consents are being progressively put in as well. They've just lodged the one for the roof, which is a very major consent. And then there's only really a minor consent to come for some architectural and other work. So that's going very well, working very well with our council consent team. And so nothing to report on that. We are working with Mana Whenua on the cultural design, both for the facade and also for the seating bowl. And just the last paragraph there, you'll see their metrics are performing very well. They have a target of 70% for local involvement. So we've got 77% for consultants, subcontractors and supporting businesses. They view local as South Island. And of the ones that are actually physically working on site, 89% of them are South Island against a target of 80%. And Pacifica, we have a target of 7% and we've got 7.7%. So everything's progressing on program, on budget. So.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. I always, when I read these, I always like that paragraph that says there's no issues that we need to be aware of. And there's no material changes to the scope of the project, and it's on program, on budget, and there's no quality issues. So as long as you can keep doing that, we'll be very, very happy. Does anyone have any questions on this in relation to the construction? Aaron?
Yeah, Mark, given your project history of this one and the previous ones, have you ever come in and said you're not on time and on budget?
No, I've generally come in and said I'm on budget and on program. Yeah.
You stay here for another 50 years, please?
Great. Thank you. Yanni?
Yeah, Aaron was going to ask if what will be open earlier to Kaha or Parakori. But
we already know that answer.
just wanted to check at a kind of high level, and I appreciate there may be some specifics that you can't get into, but it's good to see the progress. I was just interested in understanding the risk that we took on in terms of the costs, how far we are along that liability being, the risk around that liability being closed out versus being open. Are you able to give us a very high level kind of understanding of the risk that we assumed some responsibility for versus where we've got to date?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we're well on the way there and looking very good against that. So some of the, without mentioning specifics, but dewatering was one, for example, that we took the risk and worked with the contractor, shared the risk, and that worked out very well. We thought we potentially have quite a bit of dewatering to be done. It wasn't as bad as we thought. Same with contamination, we shared that risk, and it's certainly better than we thought. So overall, we're very happy with where the risk is sitting against our projections.
Great, thank you, Mark. Well, I'm happy to move this. Tim's happy to second it. Is there any discussion? No, all in favour? Against? That's carried. And sorry for holding you up this morning. I feel
That's all right,
terrible
I've
about
just
that.
been working away.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Cheers.